And you spent an extraordinary amount of time with Elon working on the book.
Yeah.
Did you see this coming? I don't think we've really talked to you since all of this has happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely the book shows his frustration with government. It shows him becoming much more of a Trump supporter. It has chapters called The Rabbit Hole, where he really gets into this information ecosystem that he helped create. And he's very eager to put on his superhero's cape and do to the federal government or in the federal government what he did when he arrived at Twitter and got rid of 80% of the employees and is now still running the show there. And I think he do what he did at SpaceX.
So what do you think is possible? Because part of the big question is what can be done with executive orders and what can be done with Congress. By the way, he may very well be influential within Congress, given that the Congress is a Republican, both Congress and the Senate.
I think he will have Democratic support in Congress for some of what he does, and I think a lot more is possible than some people have been
So when you say
saying.
a lot, put it on the table. I mean, do you think...
I think, take the Defense Department.
The big numbers are Defense Department. Do you think he can actually...
I think he can and will, or they can and will, actually go into the Defense Department and look at things like the F-35 fighter. Is that even something you need in this day and age? Look at why the procurement system is this way. He has people like Steve Davis, who has done this at everything from the Boring Company to Twitter when he first bought Twitter, and people like Antonio Gracias from the outside who are great at saying you can't have a manufacturing or procurement system this way. And I think he will gut some of that.
And so
I think he's making a great point right there, and there's a lot to unpack in this interview. I'm not sure if Elon Musk and DOGE are going to get the Democrat support or not in Congress, but what you have to keep in mind is that DOGE is an advisory committee, so it basically have no executive power at all. So he's going to face a lot of resistance before Elon Musk can apply some of the things he wants to do. We will see what happens.
But part of the issue is whether he's going to be able to successfully tell Congress people in certain districts that have relied on certain industries, you know what, we're just not doing that anymore, right? It's not just identifying the problem. It's going to be then sort of persuading people who might be unpersuadable.
Although, is it much more easy to persuade when you can put it on X and post it and have people saying this is wasteful spending?
Oh, I think he has a lot of arrows in his quiver in order to fight off people who are going to resist him. And the biggest one is I think Trump will support him in all of these things. And it'll be very hard to say, no, let's protect the spending and, you know, trying to protect in Alabama where they might be doing some type of Boeing system that's just not working and protect it. But we'll see. I mean, the biggest difference, and this is what you put your finger on, is when he went into Twitter and he did all this, he owned Twitter.
Right.
He does not own the federal government. But if you had to ask me to bet, he'll have a
But you
lot
think
more
defense?
impact.
Do you think he's able to?
Yeah, I think he made an amazing point by saying that Musk has the support of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. He is the most powerful person in the United States. And Elon Musk did an amazing job getting close to Donald Trump and becoming an advisor to Donald Trump and having a prime position in Donald Trump's cabinet. And that's going to help him a lot, making DOGE a great administration and making some great changes within the federal government. I believe he's going to do it.
For healthcare?
Healthcare, the policies of it are really difficult. But yes, I think he would, if he could, and this is what I don't think he's going to see, just disrupt this whole process of a mix of insurance and employee insurance and mandates or whatever. But I think that will be a place where slashing the regulations will come into play.
Can I just ask, if he's getting into the weeds, we all know that Boeing has some serious problems, and
that's for sure.
They have not been able to deliver time after time. The answer's always been there's no alternative. So we're sticking with these things. We're going to do the best we can within this ecosystem. Is his point going to be they're not doing it right? Oh, and by the way, I can do it better, so that the competitor, so that there's no longer like the same kind of stranglehold. Do you see him ever getting into manufacturing airplanes?
No, I don't think so. But you know, this is a interesting area because a lot of what he would do, let's say, get rid of the SLS space system, which is just a nightmare. This is the sort of government usual procurement process that leads you to Boeing and other things. That obviously benefits SpaceX. And get rid of some of the highway transportation safety regulations and reporting. That benefits autonomous vehicles. So clearly he'll benefit from some of this, but I don't know that that's the main goal.
Yeah, ultimately, that's what I believe as well. I believe Musk abandoned the Democratic Party because the Democrats abandoned him, and he went to Trump because he saw an opportunity that Trump was going to get elected, and he wanted to have a better position for his businesses, ultimately. Having a primary role in the government and being a primary advisor to Trump, he can have a great position for his businesses and get government contracts and eliminate the competition, basically. So that's a great move from him.
It is part of the problem that there is not an alternative. We need Boeing. It's an American manufacturer that's an amazing manufacturer, but when the only competitor is Airbus, and
you're
Airbus
talking about for airlines, not space travel.
Yeah, not just.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to remember Donald Trump, even with Air Force One, took on Boeing at some point. But yes, I think one problem we have in America that's writ large is we used to be a nation of a lot of entrepreneurs and risk takers who make a lot of companies, and then you become a nation of regulators and rule makers, and you can't get things done. And I think you see that in many industries.
Yeah.
A different question for you, Walter, which is we've now seen a whole number of CEOs go down to Mar-a-Lago to have dinner with the president. We have a number of big companies that are now contributing to his inaugural event. Historically have never contributed before. So Facebook had never contributed before, for example, or Meta, I should say, and others. What do you make of that?
I think the word kowtowing comes from everybody going to the emperor in China and kowtowing, and indeed, I think that's what you're seeing. I think in a broader sense, one of the things that could be a problem for the administration and has been around the world when you have very strong leadership is this whiff, not of corruption may be too much to say, but the whiff of kowtowing and payoffs. The notion that he might get his hotel back in Washington and everybody will have to stay there, or that people join Mar-a-Lago. I think that could turn people off a lot, but I think you're seeing that these companies, Tim Cook is down there showing them the new foldable phone. That's understandable, but...
That's totally understandable that now every business person, every media outlet wants to be on the side of Trump and the Republican Party and the right, basically. Now that the left lost, now that the Democratic Party lost, they don't want to hear anything from them anymore. They want to be close to Donald Trump, to be in the best position to further their own interest.
It's clearly a lot of kowtowing going on.
Do you think that the relationship that Elon Musk enjoys with the president, or that the president enjoys with Elon Musk, remains? No, and I ask because there have been, as you know, falling outs over the years, by the way, with both of these gentlemen, with lots of different people.
Well, you just answered it. The data points we have is that you often have falling outs. You also often have rubble in the wake. And yeah, this is not exactly the most stable bromance if you were writing the movie, because Elon Musk has never worked for anybody before, and Donald Trump has never shared the limelight very generously with people before. But at the moment, they've got a common cause, and that common cause is going to keep them together.
Yeah, I think Elon Musk and Donald Trump are going to do great things together, at least for the next 4 years. Or at least until DOGE remains. And even after DOGE job is done, the Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk still has Tesla and SpaceX and doing a lot of work for the government, launching satellite and building vehicles and building batteries and building solar panels everywhere. So he still needs the government. He still have a lot of money. He still receive a lot of funding from the government. So he's gonna stay close to the government and have a role in the government as much as possible so that he can defend his own interests in the future. So thanks for watching and staying with me. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Is Elon Musk gonna do great thing with DOGE or not? I really appreciate you being there. Right And of course, click right there so that you can watch the next video, and I will see you there. Bye bye for now.